Yeah, we'll see if it works out this time around. Going back to things, you see XSET starting off on attack. They're going to be the ones to dictate the pace, and so far it's a pretty early spread out as they try to test the waters and see what they can find.
Yeah, definitely an OG wall that Aaron is using right off the bat. That usually tends to indicate they're going to end A, as it covers their approach onto actually A main and also having spot 2, but pressure into mid first.
Generally intended to be a bursty wall. Try to jump onto the side as soon as you can. Speaking of walls, Jonah P's wall is going to keep him back a bit mid.
Def just took a lot of damage as BCJ heals him up. And I think his intention is to stay inside of mid here. BCJ was lurking over towards A, but Def is making a mid-round read right here and a call to try to get one pick done.
Man, the wall is just going to be so difficult to deal with, right? You've got the Trailblazer coming out from Trent too. Get some info down A.
And that Trailblazer from the guard did spot at least one. So they know kind of a little bit of what's up. Meanwhile, Valorant on the other side is just jump peeking, spotting isn't anything B. This wall finally breaks, and Def is going to try to do something here before the hit goes on A, or opt to lurk all the way through.
Here comes the hits, finally starting to funnel through as BCJ trades one. Gets taken down in exchange. There you see Def creeping his way up the middle of the map as the site take continues, and they've done so pretty effectively, I might say. You've got Nat on the flank. No, he goes unchecked. He's able to take care of one and then retreat. Zekin falls as well as the guards seem to be picking XSET apart. 10 seconds left. Cryo's going to have to hit another insane shot. Not able to do it. Def in this 1v1. Jonah P's so weak, but he's got to swing. He's got to land shots. He's got to do it now. Look at Jonah P. He's running away. And he's going to do it in time.
He's safe. Wow. That was really slow. I mean, you could see the delayed wall in mid from the guard. That's Jonah P putting that down on reaction. And then the amount of time that Def had to spend getting healed up by BCJ cost them a lot there. And Def was nowhere to be found on this flank eventually. Could have ended up winning it because of heroics from Zekin on the other side, but also have to point out, this is the guard again returning a little bit to comfortability. Continuing not to play Chamber, continuing not to have Saya on that role specifically, and to put Jonah back in a pace where he's flexible and not playing the main roles.
XSET without much to work with here as you see the utility dump across the middle of the map. See if that late wall becomes a factor again. Oof. There's that wall.
More players here to break it this time. They're pinching onto Aaron right now, trying to approach in front of this wall, making sure he's not lurking past both Trent and Saya.
It's a nice thing, too, about that poison orb out from Ned is it allows you, if the wall gets broken through, you still have some cover. If he toggles that up and down, that's exactly what you're seeing here.
Look to them to actually continue as well on that A main. Aaron's no longer there, so they're approaching all through mid. Look for guard to push them off that.
That swings through. I can't believe he did that. And off of that, they've been able to push them off. They've established some mail control. The spike is still outside of B main.
But they still actually didn't pick that up, and they let Jonah P rotate back over to help Valen when he's there. And they're regrouping.
30 seconds
they didn't get any space from this original mail push.
Trent just on the other side of the box. A little shuffle of the feet. Bullet goes wide. Trent manages to stay alive for now. Again, 17 seconds, man. They're burning this midnight oil. They like to go late, and Valen just saw a whole lot of everything as XSET tried to get onto the site. Remember, all they have is pistols, and it may not be enough. Only 3 left as the guard just kind of cleans him up. ECJ is not going to be able to do anything here. The guard take a 2-0 lead.
Well played there, too. Notice how Jonah P stayed all the way back in spawn, did not join Valen. Valen's job is to hold the right side. Jonah P's was to hold his back, and he did just that. As they came around, gave Valen enough time to stay alive and fight the rest of that site. Now, what I was saying about Aaron, oh no, his wall just slightly missed there. It's only covering the ramp cross and not the heaven.
Yeah.
And we've seen this before as well. So that is already a lot gone. They have to start readjusting right now to what this hit might end up being.
I know it's pretty early ball, but it feels like the guard have done a really good job at delaying on their defensive side. They layer the utility so well
Sure.
No, and almost force XSET to wait late into the rounds before they take a hit.
I think that's also XSET's tendency, though.
Yeah, that's true.
You can see how long Def is sticking around in certain positions. And again here, this is Cry, though, and Aaron. Against Sai and Trent, they're going to take the fight. And Aaron just mows them down. That's a free A site. Doesn't matter if the wall missed at all.
Yeah, makes up for that for now. And they're going to be able to get onto A for free. Look at Def. Look at Def lurking. Gets punished for it. But is that enough misdirection to cause him to think twice about it? Yeah, look at him. They're scattered about.
Yeah, and Cryo has his alarm bot still to catch Net on this flank through sewers. And yeah, they have no inklings to stay into this right now. Valorant has the Vandal, so they're going to say, ooh.
Look at him smoking that off. Surely he knows that, right?
Yeah. This is starting to get scary. Yeah.
He knew. It's getting a little scary. Aaron's going to have to find more. Or Valen just gets 3 on the round. Zekin's left alone. Should not have gone this way. Net's very weak. Zekin's able to clean one up. He swings around, spots info on another, but Valen gets 4 on the round.
That should not have happened.
Nope.
That really shouldn't. Aaron with those first 2 entries onto the A site. They have the site for free. Def gives his life away. I mean, he's trying to find the lurk timing, and it almost works out, but the guard very aware. And 2 things. Number 1, the fact that they're aware, that's great for the guard. The fundamentals of what got them here, this type of stuff to see is great. Secondly, Valen in these 2 last rounds has been more impressive than he's been all season already. Specifically in this 1 versus 2 that he picks up, or the 1v1 against Zekin, rather. And last season, he played great. I mean, he was one of the reasons why they made it to Reykjavik in the first place. This season, he has not been performing to that level. He's minus 20 in terms of average ACS.
Saya player drops the Roomba to try to get some info, and some was gathered, some was garnered. Trent on the other side of the wall. Oh, it's just too easy when they come out like that. Oh, manages to get the 3rd too.
1 enemy remaining.
This should be pretty clean. Yeah, almost perfect, almost perfect.
This is good stuff from the guard right there. And speaking of slumps, right, Valorant I've been mentioning, Trent is even in a worse one. And he was the start, like the guy that everybody, I mean, definitely not the guy who's producing the most. That's always been Saya player, but Trent has been there in clutches and consistency.
Yeah.
And for him to pop off a little bit at the beginning of this, look, Valen 7-1, Trent 5-3. That's exactly what the guard need, because so far this season, the story for them has been a lack of confidence in themselves and in their teammates. For them to go back to comfortable roles and now to be producing with those 2 players specifically is massive.
Yeah, you can tell they've gotten some of their swagger back. You see it already reflecting in the scoreboard early on in this best of 3 against XSET. And the thing is, it really was, Balla, to your point, it felt like such a night and day difference from weeks 1 and weeks 2 to what we saw out of them week 3. They looked, in the first 2 weeks of the split, or of the stage, excuse me, the guard looked like shells of what they were in their lead up to Reykjavik. It was entirely different.
Yeah, I mean, you could also make the same argument that it was the same thing at Reykjavik outside of the original comeback against Optic. But their second game was nowhere near that. Beginning of the season, Net, I mean, you could see how the confidence was tolling on him, how he was saying, you know, he's never played as bad in his life. You could clearly see, like, some of the players are working through that. And I think
young man,
the time that they have throughout the season is a good thing for them to work through that. But it's do or die time now, honestly, for them. And when we look at the standings for these 2 teams, this is the great equalizer, right?
Yeah.
This is the game that will put both of these teams on even footing, maybe even put the guard an advantage for them to make playoffs over XSET if it comes down to it, because this group is tight, Doug.
Poison's off.
As a Valorant fan, you wouldn't have it any other way. You see the wall up from Aaron towards B. He's got some presence that way too.
Trap play again. Trying to catch him with the nade and the grab ball. But BCJ with the entry, and this time they've actually put a lot more presence over towards. Ooh, that's cheeky. He's trying to bait that he's not there and delay the spike plan as much as possible, but there's actually a gap where they can plant anyways. This wall gives him plenty of coverage onto him. Jonah P's isolated.
Oh, look at Saya player.
They got him.
He's going to go through undetected. Oh, but he doesn't look left, and he gets freaking clotheslined. Never had a shot at that one.
Yeah. Weird decision from Jonah P, I have to say.
Spike planted.
But I think expecting XSET to be pinching through heaven, doesn't want to leave himself exposed. Trent in a 1v5, and he's between two people already. This does not look good.
Yeah, I feel like we literally just saw Saya in this exact position. This time, Trent a little bit more careful, making sure there's nobody down there.
That just gave away his position, and for him to do that when obviously the intention here should be saving. Meanwhile, look at Tef. He was already hunting down. Now they know where he is. He has a clue. He was going to walk all the way through sewers. But it's only him chasing, and the money situation for XSET, obviously weak. Not won any rounds yet. He gets them though. They're free.
In a prime gaming flawless fashion, XSET find themselves on the board. You're right, there were some interesting decisions that went on there from the guard. But ultimately, XSET found what they were looking for, and it was off an opener like that. It was BCJ's opener. We haven't seen, I'm not looking at them exactly yet. That might have been the first kill that XSET get this map. I want to say.
They've got 3 so far, surprisingly.
Yeah, first. That's what I said.
Yeah, first. 3 first kills, but only 1 round win. So you can see the guard, even playing down a man, still working things out, and that's a great pick. No punish here, this time for XSET. And already Net has garnered so much space with his Viper's Pit. The other thing, too, is you could see XSET, look at Def, he's already in ropes, but they've completely shifted from the A wall that they were doing now to this B wall that allows them to potentially walk out on that left side of sight.
Oh, boy. Where did he go? Oh, no way! Takes the scenic route, if you will, outside of Trent's line of sight.
He's Net's pinched now. He's in a tough spot with only a judge as well.
Poison's off.
And they're going to pounce on that pinch.
Valen's going to have to get over there in a hurry. He's got a Phantom. Cosmic Divide to work with.
Are they throwing another feint towards B again here?
Oh, well, if it wasn't a fake before, after that dink, they may want to reconsider it. That's exactly what they do.
You are divided.
Comes the wall. Again, Net has to go huge here. He has to hold this Viper's Pit, specifically against Cryo. See if XSET actually approaches, but Valen got out.
Yeah, he found the timing to get back with his team. He's able to get one, but BCJ trades with 2 big ones, and he's going to get the spike down.
Spike
It's just going to be on Jonah P and Saya to retake, and Saya has an op. It's going to be a difficult spot. You've got Cryo, too. Jonah P, surely he checks this, right?
Player standing.
Well, he did.
He did. Cryo's been playing those lurk spots twice now, and that's Saya's key to get out of there. Have to say, BCJ's fragging so far, his entries have been phenomenal. I think he's gotten like 3 of the first kills that XSET have gotten. And also, Def, man, this guy is just pushing. The confidence from him, he is insane. He's just pushing ropes. He's pushing out a B with no teammates around at all as the smoker on the team. In some cases, going to be the only smoker when Aaron's committing his wall every single round at the beginning. That is... And I mean, look again, he's hunting for Saya. If he could get this op, 2 seconds. Saya's on the other corner. I don't think he sees him, no. But that is impressive. And I've seen Def in that type of mode. And when IGLs are the person who's doing that, that means they have a great understanding of the game, at least the game that the guard is playing. He knows where the holes are, and he's trying to exploit them as best he can.
You kind of wonder how XSET would respond after their loss last week, and it looks like while they're down early on split, they're the ones trying to dictate the pace. Def, as you mentioned, is trying to find the holes in the opening. You feel like there's almost this like
you want to play, let's play.
Almost like payback that they're looking to get, and unfortunately the guard may be on the receiving end. With another opener like that out from Cryo, XSET seemed to be in a good spot.
I have to say, again, that was the guard looking for both Aaron and... because they've had so much success against Aaron's Viper on this map, where he's lurking A alone. But XSET has just said, hey, whatever, if you're going to hunt for him, let's just put Cryo there, or join him with Cryo. And so far that's worked out, but this mid-exploration could get punished from Cryo, and it does.
Yeah, now you wonder what XSET do, or excuse me, what the guard do in response, and you see them start to scatter out. There is going to be a push in through garage, and as a trap has been laid for Cryo, how far up will you push? The gun barrel's been given away. Cryo's not able to find much more. Meanwhile, on the site, the spike has been planted. You've got a Viper's Pit serving as a shroud to keep the members of XSET concealed as the spike ticks away.
Trailblazer really early. He's blind. Oh my goodness.
No shot. Unreal out from Joe to P as he swings out, finds a second. Aaron's left alone. He's got the Viper's Pit. He's going to have to pull off some sort of magic in order to pull this off, and the bullets go entirely wide. The sun was obviously in his eyes, and that's why he didn't land those shots. Trent's going to get the defuse.
Should have put his sunglasses on. Ridiculous. The guard are scattered in some of these instances, but that round still works out for them. Like the positions that they were, right, when they were exploring mid, when Cryo got that pick, were starting to get really chaotic. They had 3 people on other sides of the map. Look at the mini-map right now, right? Trent is putting his Seekers out all the way in from spawn. Then the regroup happens, and all of a sudden, they found themselves in a position that is fantastic to retake through this Viper's Pit. And Zekin getting caught off there, completely unaware of the B main angle, and stunned or blind, I'm not quite sure.
Yeah.
That's a mistake.
It's surprising, yeah. Operator in the hands of Cryo, this time a much earlier wall.
There.
And I think the guard have noticed that they've stopped doing this trap play inside of ropes. But they might opt to do it anyways because of what that Trailblazer saw. And specifically, okay, they didn't send the nade. Look, there's 2 players still in here. They haven't cleared it out. If they continue to challenge, the guard could spring a trap.
They try to swing out, and they get Zekin. But the spike's making its way out towards A. And who's there? It's just Trent. He's going to be in a 1v3 here.
But no Trailblazer from BCJ, so they can't walk that up. Off angle for him.
Oh, he's been spotted.
BCJ is the best in those situations when he's clearing an angle and somebody's playing an off angle against him. He's just fantastic. He knows these little minute places where he's going to see you first, where he can get the wall banks. Such a treat to watch in those instances, specifically on this map too.
Numbers in favor of XSET as Def waits patiently. The guard trying to wrap their minds around how they're going to retake the site back. Options limited. Cosmic Divide to work with.
Pulling them in.
And not much more. First grab duel. Def swings out, finds one, finds the second. And this round's all but done and dusted, Balla.
I was looking at the stats, and I was wondering, I'm like, okay, Cryo, he's slumping, right, for sure. I mean, he was leading the ACS and whatnot. And I noticed that, or last season he was leading the ACS. I noticed that Def was above him, and I was like, wow, that speaks to how much Cryo is slumping. But maybe that's the opposite, right? Maybe this is Def is, I'm
Def's
starting to
just
think
on
the
one,
other
huh?
way. Yeah. Because a lot of these rounds are coming to him and BCJ. And I mean, obviously there's been rounds where other players have contributed. But specifically, I'm just, these openings, man, this is where it's coming down to. Sure, it's not necessarily always converting, but it gives you such an easy way back into the round to continue to round. And so far, XSET's taking great advantage of them, even when the guard, in those chaotic situations down the line, have been winning them out.
You know, the Zekin does have the showstopper, and there it is, triggered just at the right time. It's used to clear out mail. There's no one home. Early use of that showstopper.
Yeah. I mean, last round, they just went for that mid-crunch, right?
Yeah.
So if the guard is thinking, hey, they're continuing to try to trap us in ropes, let's continue to try to push them back, you know? So good call from Zekin, but only nets them the mid-control, which they've been getting eventually, almost every single round.
I wonder at what point Zekin decides to work his way forward. You see him in ropes.
Scout destroyed.
I'm wondering here, this is the first time we actually see this wall come out from net. And XSET might not be ready for it if there ends up being a nade from Sai at the right opportune time. And they've barely even seen it, so they have to consider what to do against it right now. Gonna walk up heaven, though.
You gotta be careful here. Sai is 1 point from his showstopper. He can get a kill and then convert it into something big, but nope. BCJ once again with the opener. The guy is the shots are just hitting today.
I mean,
what can that do? What can that do? He's backside by himself. He's able to get a second. Tries to get the third, and he does. 13 seconds left. The spike, fortunately, for XSET is still on the site. So Aaron should be able to get the spike down.
great decision from Cryo. He's staying up there. Doesn't have a TP anymore. He could get punished, but he punishes instead.
And it all falls onto Valen's hands. to try to convert this 9th round.
One enemy
Try to keep this lead interesting, and he's managed to get it down to a 1v1. The thing is, his position had been given away, and Aaron swings out at just the right time to land the shots and bring XSET to 4.
This is already shaping up to be such a great game. In terms of fragging, in terms of the calls made from both leaders. I mean, you can see this is well prepped from both of them. They know what this means. Again, for XSET, a chance to get closer and closer to play. I mean, for both of these teams, of course. But XSET was already in such a good position, right? To lose chances at playoffs after they started off so strong.
Yeah.
The best start that they've had, what feels like at least. And the guard for them to start so bad, I mean, clearly a lot of work is going into this. But we have to bring it back. I mean, BCJ's entries and the way Def is playing, fearless in some cases from Def specifically, but also BCJ just seems mad, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's just taking these peaks and just ripping people apart. It felt like Net had no chance there. It felt like Trent in the round prior had no chance at even fighting back, barely even seeing the man.
The guard, again, feeling some of the pressure of the moment, call a timeout here. They hang on to a narrow lead in the opening half of Split. And while XSET seem to be shifting things back their way, again, the guard find themselves in the lead, although potentially short-lived if you look at their buy here. They've got a judge in the hands of Net, and he's got the Viper's Pit. You presume he's going to try to play in it, maybe catch a couple of cheeky kills. But other than that, not a lot to work with on the artillery front.
And XSET just completely masterfully took down this exact situation with Net and with the Viper's Pit.
Yeah.
So they've got to have something else for him, right? He needs to have backup. And in this case, they're trying to hold on to the other lane, the other access to that A site by stacking inside of middle. But they've done this once before, and this time, though, the difference is Saya has his showstopper. God, it's such a good read, though, from XSET. They just ignore mid completely.
Oh, the gravity well. There's just no damage follow-up, but that was a pretty delay. Jonah P gets dropped. You see the rest of the pistols start to show up. Again, note the judge. The only real weapon is on the opposite side of the map. The showstopper doesn't go off. It doesn't fire at all.
He had his knife out. Oh, no. He's had a howler.
And now Net shows up with much to do. And only a judge to do it with. He's just going to play for exits.
Yep. And again, such a good read on this anti-eco from XSET, right? For them to recognize, okay, they put the wall into middle. They've tried to trap us before, and this time Saya has his ult. And I'm not necessarily sure what went into that. Obviously, there's a lot of stuff that we can see and they don't. So it's just impressive to see them make the right call to back off and go B. Even though the guard had a great idea of how to play that round, at least in the middle and over towards A. 5-5. So even. And I do feel like XSET is returning to that attacking prowess that they had in the first 2 weeks. One of the best teams in the league on attack.
I want to say, Ball, this is the first round we see this Viper wall out from Aaron, this diagonal one.
He did it in the second round, but completely useless. So this is the only round so far where it's actually going to be one where, you know, they have guns, they could actually do something with it as they trade Trailblazers. But what the impact is that they can lurk up all the way into ropes from the backside, and that could be key in, you know, some mid crunches later on. But I have not seen XSET really work at that way. Oh, this is a big shot. Trent counting his lucky stars that he jump peeked that.
Uh-huh. Note 2, Def again on the lurk roll. He's hanging out in B garage right now while the rest of the team tries to find the openings that they can on A. Dueling ops here. You see it on your screen. It doesn't look like we're going to get to see that.
Oh, they're going through the wall with a flash.
Pull off quite yet. Cryo, flash, reassesses. Not able to land the shots, has to step back just a bit, and he's not going to get the challenge that he's looking for. Now with the Cosmic Divide, it can funnel out onto the site, but note Trent is still back here. He's holding the flash. He
Whoa.
spots BCJ, turn around. Not gonna do it. Trent 2, Trent 3.
Spike down A.
And Def left alone in a 1v5. The numbers don't lie, and the aftermath is a nearly impossible situation for the leader for XSET.
Check your corners, guys. What is that? I mean, 5 players still up and nobody's checking back map? That is... The guy had a flash in his hands. Look at this from Trent. He had a flash in his head at the beginning of this. And the re-clear on A ramp was great, by the way, from the guard. And it was set up by the guard, or by Trent's flash. Look, I mean, that's inexcusable. And, you know, the way that you could BCJ playing with emotion, playing with some sort of fire under him, that sort of emotion can definitely cost you in instances like that. 30 seconds, and they make the right play, or the wrong play.
Trent had time to think about what he wanted to do there.
What gun do I want to kill him with?
Do I knife him?
Here.
Last round of the half here. The guard back in the lead. Again, we see this delayed wall out from Jonah P. This is where you see you've got a couple of ultimates on the side of the guard. And again, noting that it's the last round of the half. You imagine we'll see them in play. Jonah P not able to take care of Zekin as he swings out. Now they have mid control again.
Good entry there from Zekin. He's coming alive in this. Right there, some confidence in his own, but 3 players here from the guard.
What? Wow, how did Sai land that? He must have shot his finger. He's got the op looking for the second, able to get it. Not able to drop the third as Net's left alone in this 1v2. A winnable one at that. Def is weak. He's got no armor.
Can they both get into a crossfire here? Can Def cross over towards B main? If he can, that's almost a round done.
Net had such a big week last weekend. After struggling in weeks 1 and 2, he finds himself again thrown into a clutch situation with a chance to make something happen here for the guard. He swings out, spots Def, not able to land the shots, but buys himself some time, some space to work with as he continues to creep forward. 1 molly left. This crossfire from XSET is so devastating to deal with. He's got to be able to land the shots just at the right time, and he's not going to do it. A 6-6 half between the guard and XSET to start off this best of 3, and we would not have it any other way. We'll be right back, friends. Well, Bali, you called it a great equalizer, and sure enough, the score happens to be 6-6 as we enter the second half of split between XSET and the guard, opening map this best of 3. Ballin, now that we see XSET transition to the defensive half, is there anything in particular you're expecting?
Yeah, I think my eyes are already having this thought, right? In the last round, Zekin getting the entry, I'm saying, okay, this guy has been quiet, and he stepped up a little bit in that last round, but I think this defensive half is where you can get a lot more impact done. I think where you can have the initiative, because the rest of the time on attack, I think it was more Def, it was more BCJ, right? He's not leading the charge. He's not the type to double satchel in, although we have seen that hit from him in the past. It just wasn't in the cards in the game plan from XSET on attack.
Tell you it doesn't seem to be in the cards for the guard on their attack, at least early on, is any sort of space taking or aggression or gusto at all. Yeah.
This looks like they're having shades of playing against Paper Rex, right? the beating they took against Paper Rex on this attacking side with the just raw aggression that those guys are throwing at them. I mean, it felt like right there they were remembering that right now.
Yeah. Ball, that's actually a really good shout. We haven't seen them play this map since then, since that series.
Yep.
And I have vivid memories of just Jing and mid-map just being lost.
This is great from the guard, though. They're going completely dry. And look, XSET's made a gamble. So if they walk out here, they can get... Yep, Def in the back. And he's gone. 30 seconds left. Plenty of time to plant the spike and get into great positions right now.
The gravity well did section off the spike, but it just wasn't enough of a delay. The rest of the team was too far away, and now that they've gotten onto the site, the spike's been planted.
I really like this wall, too, from the guard. This will funnel them all over towards the left side of the screen right now. That's going to be hard to get through. Oh,
Aaron weak. How does Zekin get 2 with the nade? Numbers back in favor of XSET. That wall may not matter. See the second one come out. Is it going to find the same success? Zekin's gotten the third on the round. You said he needed to heat up Bala, and well, he has so far. Jonah P's left alone in this 1v3 as Zekin gets 4 and XSET get to 7.
I mean, out of all the blunders so far, We've seen one from XSET, but I think a couple now from the guard there. I think Valen thinks he can stay up on top of that box and be safe from it, but the other player just sat in the nade. Just a gorgeous throw from Zekin as well. And I'd love to see that again, to see that this just popped. Yeah, it popped instantly, okay? You've heard the term pop flash, but that right there is a pop nade. Lands and explodes.
See if we can coin that one. Man, what a round out from Zekin. From 5 and 10 to 9 and 10, just like that.
No buyout from the guard at all. They're just going to try to lurk up ramp, but guess who's here? It's Cryo.
He's going to have plenty of chances. He spotted a shoulder. He's able to take care of one, and Zekin was left the trap. You think once you hear Cryo teleport out that it's safe, and guess what? It's not. He gets 3 more.
They were stacked so well, I didn't even see Zekin on the minimap there. I thought it was Cryo alone. Unbelievable.
Prime Gaming Flawless comes out as XSET. Got the second round of the second half, now up 2.
I was looking towards Zekin to turn up, but in these first 2 rounds, that was not what I was expecting. He goes from bottom of the scoreboard to tied with Def. And yeah, look, they're stacked right there. Zekin is walking into the angle as Cryo's TPing away. And they think they're fighting one player. And look at the reactions. You know, there's no overreaction there, which I have seen from the guard in the past.
Yep.
And we have to keep that in mind, because if this team is going to become great, those are the types of things that they need to be able to handle, right? Now it's just an eco, so they know the importance. Not that big. This is the one. The bonus for XSET. And again, the guard is so passive.
Here.
I don't know. Did he see that? BCJ may have spotted net there.
I mean, even if he doesn't, they know they're defaulting at this point, right?
Yeah. Okay.
The way they're playing the wall, and the way the dog didn't see any information there, he knows somebody's probably hiding somewhere in A. But look at the stack XSET. For their bonus, they're choosing to stay all close to male, and they just actually did a lot in mid. And as this smoke falls, I think they might opt to take the fight, actually. Oh, this is dangerous.
It feels like it's up for an eternity too, man. You can feel it. Anticipation building is now it clears. Members from both sides just tucked into safety.
We'll
Who clears out? Who clears it out?
30 seconds
Only
left.
one fires. No additional information given away.
Oh, they pulled them. With that flash, they pulled them over.
Swing! The swing up from Def is so good, and Cryo gets one with the frenzy.
One enemy remaining.
Oh.
False hope.
Yep.
And they just completely shut it all down.
10 seconds left.
They threw the little fake over towards B. They were opting to try to pull players over, but XSET had already set up so perfectly. Def is not biting on that. Meanwhile, the rest of his team do. And he still comes up huge. Again, that's the bonus. That was a massive round when it's so close. And the guard converted their bonus on the first half as well. But this time, XSET got plants down. This time, the guard has not gotten anything, really. So when it comes to the economy, this is going to be hurting.
The guard call a timeout here. It's interesting, Ball. I was having a conversation earlier today. It seems like for whatever reason, more bonuses are being won in this era of Valorant than ever before.
Yeah. I mean, I think that was a big takeaway from last year, was how much some of the teams that, surprised us at Champions was their focus on the bonus rounds, right? The focus on the bonus rounds, the eco rounds, all that stuff. And I think NA has evolved in such a massive way with the advent of this team, the guard, and, how V1 played last season, and how EG and the Ghost are playing right now. I mean, there's so many teams that are just thinking of the game at a macro level entirely. And that gives massive hope to all of NA, but also makes these games so much more interesting. Now XSET up 9-6 with that win, and yeah, the problem was the reason why they were able to break the streak in the first half, XSET, and make it 4-1 was because they had actual money in this round.
Yeah.
Guard has nothing.
9-6 lead. XSET flirting with 10 as the guard only have pistols. You mentioned nothing, and That's, I mean, it's the best way you can really put it. Again, a slow round out from the guard. No real information gathered by XSET so far. That'll help, though.
That might just look like the regular default, though. And the guard has been playing so passive that might give him false sense. But look, Cryo's ready for this. They're breaking this. Doesn't spam.
No, he's in the range of his rendezvous, too, so he can reposition if he gets challenged.
Ooh, Def coming out of there actually completely nullifies that TP, right? He's going to go into TP, but he's not going to fight with anybody if they go A.
The nade is there. Cryo swings around, still in it. One, but no, he's not able to get away. The spam through the flash. Def not able to land the shots. And those pistols that we talked about, the seeming nothing that they had. He's finding a ton of value here in this round.
Spike
Look,
planted.
Jonah P just got so much space.
Have
One enemy
weaponry
remaining.
to fight back, though. Yeah, the space was there, but Trent's alone left in this 1v3 with the Sheriff. And he's going to fall. XSET got to 10.
A gamble, man. Went so well for the guard to push through that wall. And Def also rotating at probably the inopportune time. They come out of that, you know, not dead completely, but the guard with just the gun advantage, or the gun disadvantage, they weren't able to recover any of that, right? And they had to push, make a play into spawn, and that doesn't work out. Now is where they get their money back. Now is where they have a chance to really strike, but already 3 rounds for XSET to close this out. And they've started stacking these ults up.
And Cryo's got an operator, too. So they got a really good setup here, XSET do. See, doesn't look like they're setting up for anything quick and early on the side of XSET, while the guard have fully stacked A. And they've got an operator they're going to have to deal with. The utility, the Trailblazer, all gets spammed out instantly. Very well done. No info gathered there.
Meanwhile, so much info on the other side of the map. Already BCJ's dogged through. Look at this TP from Cryo.
And that's a spike.
Spike down.
Gonna get a shot at a second. Not able to land it. Gets away. Aaron playing up on high. The spike has been gathered, so the guard have some options. Not many, though.
Yeah, not many at all. Have to point out, XSET have gotten all first kills so far in defense. And that's another one. 5 so far in this half.
BCJ with a flash in his face to spam as he trades back with one of his own and spots 3. See them all playing around there, the nades. They're slowly starting to creep their way forward. The satchel as Def gets clotheslined, but BCJ does it again. It's a 3v2 in favor of XSET here. Spike up in heaven. BCJ 7 bullets. He's as healthy as they come, though, as he takes care of Saya. And that's not going to do anything either. BCJ with 3 on the round as XSET get to 11.
Yeah, and again, money broken. They didn't get the plant down, so they're just really running on fumes. And they're going to, what looks like they want to play for OT. Or to play for the win rather than OT. I think they're going for it. I saw light armor everywhere. That's huge.
Enemy remaining.
Also to point out, while XSET continues this flawless run on defense, the guard, they haven't really shown much. They've gone 3 rounds for this super, super passive approach. Sure, they get bitten when they end up going for something else, that last round included. Still gave him a good chance.
Zekin still has his ult. Def still has his ult. Thing is, the guard are in a spot where if they can somehow get onto the site and get the spike down, they've got the Viper's Pit they can work around.
And Cryo's TP allows him to be so far advanced and still get back to B in time to fight a heaven push or a B push, which is not something you're used to seeing from a chamber advanced on a ramp.
Thing is, the spike is going to have to get through mid for them to be able to capitalize on the space they've got. Nay, the showstopper comes out. Zekin's not able to land the shots. Jonah P takes care of him. Cryo still trying to anchor down the site. Look at that Viper's Pit, but they have not gotten through Def. That's what I'm saying. They've taken A, but the spike's not there.
Cryo's going to actually head off this fight in sewers.
It's got to be a big kill.
He knows they're rotating around, and there's a slow field going to be put down potentially if he gets the kill.
There it is. The tour de force able to get one.
Coming behind, Trent is.
Yeah, they've got to understand. There it is. They're able to alleviate that. And now they can go back to what they were trying to do, which is get the spike down on A. The guard still with big numbers, but they don't have a whole lot of time. And Def drops down just on the other side of the ball. He spots the gun, swings around, dancing, diving, dodging as Def gets 3. 5 seconds left. Net trying to get the spike down. Oh, and it's BCJ again.
Where's he going?
So good for XSET.
He thought the spike was not going to get planted there. He thought he won the round.
Looks down, snaps, lands a shot. A 1v1, 2 HP, but Net creeps out of the pit to land the shots. Oh, I thought BCJ was going to do it.
You had it for a second there. Just not quick enough on the flick to Net, and Net is in the right position to pounce out of his Viper's pit. Also, whoever recovered the spike there, I mean, that was milliseconds. If BCJ is running away thinking the round is over, you know that was close.
Yeah.
Def made such a hero play. 19-11, and almost basically wraps up the game for XSET right then. But this, again, this is a massive round. Economy will be fully reset. Only one player survived on the guard, so think about that. Oh, Cryo.
What a loony. Look at him.
Just in his TP range, too, if he stays slightly inside of that smoke. This is a free kill.
Oh, there it is. As soon as the Astra smoke comes down, he's able to land the shot. Second looking to go aggressive, too, man. Just seems like they want to put this thing away, and they want to do it now. Too many targets. Second's not able to do anything. BCJ either.
Yeah, that unfortunate there. Zekin thought that he was going to be, or his teammate was going to be in time to hold that. As Cryo still recovers and drops the spike in sight. Oh, the timing.
Is this the beginning of a Cryo moment?
Nope.
No, it's not.
Crucial. Crucial. I'm interested to see what the money looks like for XSET now, because should be, no, they still have money. The guard have to survive through so much right now with that bank that they accrued from the bonus win. And sure, that round meant a lot. This round means almost just as much.
Arguably more.
This is a tough spot to be if you're guard. I mean, the pinch that they had going, actually on both the rounds they win, and the amount of plays that they're actually allowing XSET to go for example, Def in that last round jumping through the Cosmic Divide, dropping the spike. This one, Cryo cutting off the spike. Trent put himself in a great position. Great decision making from the guard. And they're sitting in this, they're just going to flash through.
Oh, but he's not able to get away. So it's a 1-for-1. We'll see if the operator gets picked up. Sai used a showstopper. I promise it's there. It didn't look like it was, but it was there. Now Def up in heaven, Balin managing to get the spike down.
They have
Seekers come through.
They have the Cosmic Divide and the Viper's Pit. If they use that in combination to actually get into sight, that would be massive.
Zach in full sending, but not able to land anything as Valen holds them back. He's able to hold fast and gets 2 as the guard again take another round away. And Ball, you've been talking about money the last couple of rounds. Yeah, there's not a whole lot on the side of XSET here. It's a weird spot here when Cryo and BCJ don't have much to work with. XSET call a timeout.
Yeah, they've got to get things under control right now because they're falling wildly out of it. I mean, those last 2 specifically went really in the guard's favor. That execute through that smoke, they actually took that was a trick right there. They took a page out of XSET's book, as XSET calls this timeout, where they used that smoke that Aaron was using with the combination of the wall that he constantly was, so they could lurk past. But instead of using that way, the way that XSET wanted to, the guards say, hold up, let's just execute out of this. Let's use this as a pop smoke where we could execute without them knowing we're so close. And it cost them. Cryo falls, Def out of position to help. Really, really good stuff. XSET tried to fast retake on it, even though they had full position on the site already. Mind games aplenty. That was a gorgeous call from the guard. And out of a timeout, you just expect them to have something else just like that. This game is close, by the way, with Saya player at 5 and 17.
Yeah, that's kind of insane.
We were expecting going into this map that, yeah, okay, this is literally a map where the role problems that they had, the reasons why they were trying to make changes are completely evident. And it's still a problem, but it's still close.
Yeah, they seem to be navigating those problems just fine. Or at least the last 3 rounds they have. Because remember, this was all XSET, right? Like, they were in the driver's seat. They won 5 rounds in a row to open up the half.
Yep.
But the guards seem to have found a second wind to get them within 2.
Nice. They're playing passive at the beginning of the round. They hid from the flash. XSET doesn't have any money from this in B main. But then they're trying to push the pace inside of middle. So wasting no time getting back to it. The only time XSET tried to push was when they tried A main with BCJ and Zekin walking up.
Note that this is not an entirely empty buyout from XSET. You've got 2 Spectres and a Judge, and then Cryo's Headhunter, which is basically a pocket Guardian. So they've got something to fight back with here. It's all going to have to be on to A. Cryo falls. Are you expecting the Judge? The Nebula to provide cover? No, the Judge isn't going to find any value as the little pieces that XSET had fall.
And I think you have to rely on Cryo there to gain a little bit of time instead of getting one tapped for Zekin to jump in that smoke, because that was the play the entire time, but Def is way too slow, and that's of no fault of his own. I mean, just great shot from the guard to open things up. There's clearly something that they've caught on to here on the A site.
Last player
Just
standing.
working back here over and over.
Team Ace.
XSET on this gun round. See what they came up with on the timeout. Because the guard are starting to feel themselves.
Yeah, they've made a run at this thing, haven't they?
Yes, they have. A reminder that XSET went up, what, 5-0 on this defensive side?
Yep.
At the beginning?
Mm-hmm.
And since then, the guard are just winning round after round. That's 4 in a row now. To get closer to tie things up. 10-11. The guard have a little bit of a bank now.
And they've got an op for Jonah P.
Come on. They haven't peeked this yet. Cryo has not
No
peeked
way.
that. So Jonah just sits there, knows, hey, there's no flash coming. And that gives him full confidence to take that peek. Cryo has been towards A almost every single round, if not every single round.
You know, you take a look at the roster from XSET, and there has to be somebody. If this bleeding is going to stop, it's going to take a spark out from somebody on that roster. It wasn't Cryo to open up the round. Perhaps it happens here. Perhaps this is where they put their foot in the ground and they're able to keep back the advances of the guard. The nade's going to help, but Jonah P trades it right back. What a round he's had so far. Seeker's in his face, and look at that. They're going to flip the map. The guard are starting to rotate out. You've got BCJ, who was waiting mid, but he's going to give up the space.
Yeah, he's taken an advanced position, though. He was so good on the attack with these entries. But so far, this defensive side completely flipped that story from him. He was the aggressor in all of those situations. Now, people are running into his angle.
Oh, that's all right. Wall goes up,
30 seconds
provides cover for them to get through. Looks like they're going to try to wait out. The Cosmic Divide knows Zekin, but the Molly in his feet has 3 position. The spike is down. It's a 3v5 here. XSET with not many options. They're going to have to fight this thing out. Trent waiting just on the other side as BCJ swings out. A couple taps to the back of the head. As Trent gets the second, and Aaron has no choice really but to save here. Run for the fences and live to fight another day.
And this gun could be huge if he can save it. Trent is already hunting. There's about 20 seconds left on the spike still. Plenty of time. They're hunting from all different angles. And we're going to a tie game, guys. 11-11 right before match point. And you think back to the time that the guard was thinking about forcing into it, and they did force to play for the win instead. A reminder, XSET is undefeated on this map in VCT this year. 8-0. The guard's win rate on this map is not good. 3-5. And right now the guard look like, after a rough start to the season, look like they're about to flip XSET's map pick in a massive way. And it's not just any map pick. This is undefeated again.
Gonna be just narrowly catching like the fabric of his jacket. As it seemed like Cryo had almost swung all the way through. The shot rings true. XSET again, this lighter, awkward buy. You've got a Phantom, and then just an amalgam of stuff
They've got the
that
ult.
they're going to try to work with.
Cryo's ult. He swapped back to A, but obviously Jonah P worked him last round. This time, nothing. Def is all the way backside by himself. I think the guard are about to pounce on him. And second has to be in position here to hold on, and I think he's going to do just that as Aaron clears mid for him.
Gravity Well buys some time, but that's all it is so far, and he gets met with Gravity Well. On top of that, just trying to weather the storm of the barrage of bullets that were spamming through this shed, and he wasn't able to do it.
Gun.
Down B.
One gun, that's a kill. And the slow, there's 4 here now, and the guard have nothing except this res.
Is it bait? Oh, they take it perfectly. Now the guard continue to push forward, but Cryo gets 2. It's a 2v2. Remember, it's just a Spectre and a Stinger on the side of XSET.
The flank from Saya, nobody's paying attention, he's in the Trailblazer, no!
Remaining.
And second just has a Stinger.
Second's gonna have to make something happen here. The Satchel displaces him. Surrounded. Not able to find anything. No, he falls. I thought for a moment the Stinger was gonna be good, but the guard get to 12 after losing 5 rounds in a row to open the half.
And again, not their map pick. Again, a map that they've lost 5 so far this year. And what ended their run at Reykjavik as well. This is already impressive, but they have a chance now to close it out. And that's where they've been really good so far this year. That's what their claim to fame is almost. I mean, I remember the game where they qualified for Reykjavik was specifically them closing out that game against Optic on this map.
Can the closers do it again? After a rocky start to split. Can they make it happen here on XSET's map pick? Viper's Pit, you've got double op here to note too, not just Jonah P, who actually just dropped it. Saya had one too, so they've got enough money that they have choices on how they want to approach this round. Op's not finding value early on, so you transition over to the Vandal and the Phantom respectively.
They're going for it again, I think, that pop play. But variations, obviously XSET used this in a wildly different way with this smoke right here, but they're walking into it, so it's another pop.
Yeah, it's the same thing. Cryo this time not even going to try to take the challenge. As he repositions, he's still in line of his rendezvous. Aaron from on high is able to get 1. As Cryo gets the second, Jonah P's left alone in the 1v4, and he's on the opposite side of the map. We're not done with split quite yet, baby. We're going to overtime.
What a play, what a comeback from the guard.
Overtime.
Down so much on this half. They make the gamble to play for the win, and at least they bring themselves to overtime right now. XSET still with some life yet. Breaking the streak.
Boy, that took a while, though, to see some of that life again.
That it did. That was, what, 6 rounds in a row from the guard. And how do the adjustments start in overtime right now? We're going to XSET on attack, and again, that wall that they leaned on so heavily. They played this rounds all the way down to the slimmest margins on the clock.
Also, quick note, you've also got Def again, toying with the idea of lurking around B. He's the only member over there. He's even got an Astra Star just outside of Garage to provide some cover if he chooses to go forward. Saya with the op, glass cannon, Def just on the other side! What was it, his toe?
Unbelievable. And that was where they struggled, was opening kills. Saya to bring that up. And also, XSET, I mean, again, I said it, it was anger from BCJ.
Jonah P, the flash in his face, drops the sword. As XSET gladly take the space.
I have to wonder, too, if confidence has been shook from XSET now that that comeback has happened. Is this going to be the same attack side that we saw that was so good at getting these entries?
Aaron's waiting in Garage, doesn't check his left. Now the gravity well to delay, but the rest of the hit is actually coming from up on Heaven as Jonah P's able to take care of 1. Valen, the leader for the guard, continuing to do it. His second dashes forward, somehow lands that shot, and finds himself in a 1v2. Net and Trent coming in from opposite sides too, so they're gonna have to weather that.
Trent has to have patience here, and he does. He stays way back spawn, does not give Zekin an opportunity to push him. And Zekin might have made a read here. No.
Just time. He's just buying time. Doesn't fully wait it out, but he tucks. Staring into garage as Net swings around. 3 on the round. My goodness, he almost got the 4th, but Trent comes up clutch for the guard again.
Trent is so good in 1v1 situations. You could almost call him the anti-clutch right there. He shuts those rounds down so often, and it's so good to see it, even though he's been in a little bit of a slump so far this season.
Match point.
There he strikes against Zekin's attempted 1v4. I can't believe it. This game, so close from the beginning, and it's just delivering on all fronts. Such a pivotal game for the group. All Group A matches this weekend, you could call it maybe the weekend, it's the great equalizer, but this match as well. I mean, these were two teams that we came into this year, into this split thinking, these are the top 2 teams of the group, like hands down, like no chance anybody else is really going to compete. And it's gone in different ways, sure, but they're delivering at least in this match.
Nothing but silence out from the guard. And you can hear a pin drop on the map right now. Now the Trailblazer clears some of that out. As Trent looks to find some space, try to gather any semblance, any crumb of information that he can find.
If you're X in this situation, this is the half that you end up throwing the lead on. And you have to play for your life now. The guards. Second match point. And in the tail end of that second half, they got a lead. This time they're going towards the B site. This was completely different.
F already spammed. Repositions the step. The flash was there. BCJ having to drop the second as he repositions.
30 seconds left.
Have a ton of info anywhere else. Cryo has the op, and he spotted one. He's pinched in. He doesn't have any targets, and misses a shot. The guard find the openings that they need, but have they gotten through Def? He's not able to get much. It's all down to Aaron and Zekin to keep this map alive, to keep XSET in this thing. Trent again returning to the scene of the crime. I believe it was on these 2 players. He did it before one. He swings around, and Trent gets the second. A 14-12 win for the guard on split.
Unbelievable flip there. That is an undefeated streak from